Welcome. I am Ava, and this is WNBA Trending, your trusted source for stories that inspire, motivate, and celebrate the rising stars of women's basketball. Today's story is about a young woman whose journey from a small town in Iowa to national superstardom has captured the hearts of fans everywhere. This is the incredible story of Clark, a basketball prodigy who was so good as a kid that she had to play against boys, and what she learned from that experience made her nearly impossible to stop. Clark's story begins in West Des Moines, Iowa, where her love for basketball started almost as soon as she could walk. Her father, Brent Clark, had played college basketball and baseball, and from the very beginning, he noticed something different about Caitlin. She wasn't just interested in the game, she was obsessed with it. She would spend hours in the driveway shooting hoops, studying the moves of her favorite players, and imagining herself playing on the biggest stages. Growing up, Caitlin admired players like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Stephen Curry. She didn't just watch them for entertainment. She studied their footwork, their mindset, their confidence. She wanted to understand what made them great. It was clear even at a young age that she had a special connection with the game, a deep drive to compete and improve every single day. When Caitlin started playing organized basketball, it didn't take long for people to notice that she was far more skilled than most kids her age. Her dribbling, shooting, and court awareness were beyond her years. Coaches quickly realized that she needed a challenge. Playing with girls her age wasn't enough. Caitlin needed to be tested, to be pushed, and to be forced out of her comfort zone. That's when they made the decision that would change everything. Clark began playing on boys' teams. For many young girls, playing against boys can be intimidating. But Caitlin saw it as an opportunity. The games were faster, tougher, and more physical. She was often the only girl on the court, and that came with challenges. There were times when she was doubted, underestimated, or even mocked. But every time someone told her she couldn't do it, she found new motivation to prove them wrong. Playing against boys taught her lessons that would become the foundation of her success. She learned how to handle pressure, how to think faster, and how to stay composed even when the competition was fierce. The boys were stronger and taller, but Caitlin learned to use skill, intelligence, and creativity to gain an edge. She improved her shooting range, her passing vision, and her ability to find open lanes even in the most chaotic situations. Her father has said that Caitlin's competitive nature was something you couldn't teach. She hated losing. Every missed shot or turnover drove her to work harder. She practiced for hours, shooting from every angle, working on her dribble moves, and studying the game. That relentless drive became her trademark. By the time Caitlin reached high school, her reputation had spread throughout Iowa. She wasn't just a good player, she was a sensation. She scored over 30 points per game, breaking records and drawing attention from college scouts nationwide. She had the deep shooting range of Stephen Curry and the playmaking instincts of a veteran point guard. Everyone wanted to know where Clark would go next. When the time came to choose a college, Caitlin made a decision that surprised many. She chose to stay home and play for the University of Iowa. While many top recruits head to powerhouse programs, Caitlin wanted to represent her home state. She wanted to show that greatness could come from anywhere, even from the heart of Iowa. The moment Clark stepped onto the court for Iowa, she was electric. As a freshman, she became one of the top scorers in the nation. Her deep three-pointers, flashy assists, and fearless attitude made her must-see television. Fans packed arenas to watch her play. National networks began airing Iowa games regularly. Caitlin wasn't just playing basketball, she was changing the way people viewed women's sports. Her style was bold, exciting, and unapologetically confident. She hit shots from the logo, celebrated with emotion, and inspired millions of young girls to pick up a basketball and dream big. As her college career continued, Clark rewrote the record books. She broke scoring records, earned National Player of the Year honors, and led Iowa deep into the NCAA tournament. But beyond the numbers, it was her personality that drew people in. She played with joy, passion, and determination. She made every game feel like a show. When Caitlin declared for the WNBA draft, the basketball world held its breath. The Indiana Fever selected her with the #1 overall pick, and from that moment on, the league would never be the same. Her arrival in the WNBA brought record-breaking attendance, sold-out arenas, and a surge in television ratings. People who had never watched women's basketball before were tuning in to see what Caitlin Clark would do next. Just like when she was a kid playing against boys, the competition in the WNBA was tougher, faster, and stronger. But Caitlin was ready for it. Every challenge she faced growing up had prepared her for this stage. She adapted, adjusted, and continued to make an impact. Caitlin Clark's game is a mix of confidence and creativity. Her ability to hit shots from almost anywhere on the court makes her unpredictable. Her court vision allows her to find teammates in impossible situations. She doesn't just score points, she controls the rhythm of the entire game. Her coaches and teammates often describe her as a natural leader. She demands excellence from herself and pushes everyone around her to be better. Her energy is contagious, and her competitiveness sets the tone for her team. But Caitlin's influence goes beyond the court. She has become a symbol of what's possible when talent meets determination. She inspires young athletes, not just in basketball but in every sport, to believe that hard work can break barriers. She's also helped elevate women's basketball to new heights. Merchandise sales have skyrocketed, social media engagement has exploded, and major brands have lined up to work with her. Caitlin Clark is not just a player, she's a movement. What makes Caitlin nearly impossible to stop isn't just her shooting or her skill. It's her mentality. She approaches every game with a chip on her shoulder, a desire to prove herself, and the confidence that comes from years of battling adversity. She knows that she can overcome any challenge because she's been doing it her whole life. When asked about her childhood playing against boys, Caitlin said that experience taught her to be fearless. She said, "When you're the only girl on the court, people doubt you before the game even starts. But once the ball goes up, it's about who wants it more." That mindset defines everything she does. She doesn't back down. She doesn't make excuses. She works, competes, and believes. As she continues her journey in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark is already building a legacy that will last for generations. She's proving that women's basketball can be just as thrilling, dynamic, and competitive as any other league. She's showing young girls everywhere that they belong on the biggest stages. Her story is a reminder that greatness is not given, it's earned. It's earned through hours of practice, through facing tough opponents, through refusing to quit when things get hard. Caitlin's rise from a young girl in Iowa to a professional superstar is proof that anything is possible when you love what you do and never stop chasing improvement. Caitlin Clark is still only at the beginning of her professional career, but she's already redefining what it means to be a basketball icon. She's breaking barriers, inspiring a new generation, and changing the way the world views women's sports. Her journey is far from over. The best is yet to come. This has been your story of determination, discipline, and destiny. Caitlin Clark, the unstoppable force who learned to compete with the best and became one of the most exciting players the game has ever seen. I am Ava, and this is WNBA Trending. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the athletes who are changing the game. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories and updates from around the WNBA.